character reintroductions. It's the first time Tiffany appears in this book, so you know Claire's going to have a little something to say in her voice. And after this, I'll open it up for any questions. Oh, I should probably set the book, huh? So it takes place 3 months after the events of Clarity, and things are a little bit different. As you all know, and this is not a spoiler for anyone who hasn't read the first book, Claire, was basically bullied her whole life and been told a freak and all of that because of her psychic gifts. But apparently, nearly being killed and solving a crime earns a girl a bit of notoriety. So people are treating her a little bit differently, and she has to sort of navigate those waters and realize who's sincere and who's not. And this also puts her in danger. So here's just a little taste. "Hey," Kendra whispered, leaning in close to me. "You know that algebra quiz Mr. Frederick is planning?" "Yeah," I answered warily. "Why don't you spend a few minutes in his classroom while he's in the teacher's lounge and..." She waggled her eyebrows. "See if you can use your powers to get us the answers." I sighed, not bothering to hide my irritation. "No," I said simply. There were about 10,000 different reasons why I would do no such thing, fear of getting caught being one of them. But Kendra should have known by now that I wasn't going to dance monkey dance whenever she asked. I wasn't some sideshow at a carnival. She had asked a couple times for me to do a reading of this or that at school. I always refused. If she truly wanted a reading, she could come to my place of business and pay like everyone else. "What's up, Kendra?" Tiffany said as she approached her locker, almost directly across the hall from mine. She sneered at me and said, "Hey, freak." Apparently, Tiffany never got the Claire's cool now memo. No matter how much her friends supposedly liked me, she never would. Tiffany had always been the one to rally the anti-Claire troops and instigate all devious plans against me. She'd ramped up the torture last year after my brother, Perry, hooked up with her and never called her again. I had to suffer for my brother's man-whore ways. As part of her revenge plot, Tiffany had set her sights on my boyfriend at a party, and Justin had been dumb enough to fall for it. Yeah, alcohol was involved, but that's no excuse. It would take a lot more than tequila to make me lose my virginity to Satan. "Don't mind her," Kendra whispered into my ear. I shook my head and focused on finding my history book. The bell was going to ring any second. I pulled the textbook out and a paper fluttered to the ground. I reached down, expecting to find an old quiz of mine, but it was a note. Written in all caps were 3 words: "You amaze me." I smiled, and my stomach did that little butterfly thing, and that was when Tiffany screamed. So there's a little taste of that.